Well, it is that time again to tell you what's been happening in the yachting world in the last 4 weeks and also delve into some talking points from the month. And joining me in the hot seat, I have David Seal. Hello, David.
Hi there. Always enjoy these monthly catch-ups.
Yeah, me too. I mean, we catch up outside of these moments, just to
do.
clarify, but no, this is great. We're just fresh from the Monaco Yacht Show, so I'm feeling a little bit worse for wear. I'm feeling quite sniffly. David, do you get that post-Monaco cough cold?
I actually don't, although this year I made the rookie error of partying on the first night and then regretted it so much that I had an early night every night after that. But I find when I go to the States, I always get sniffly and you know, somewhat of a cold because of the air conditioning there.
Yeah, okay. You can't blame the air conditioning this time. Oh, I can't blame the air conditioning this time. I think I've just been too much socialising, but no partying. And I don't believe that you weren't partying.
No, I was in bed early almost every night, except for the first night, which was a very late one.
Do you believe that, viewers? I wouldn't trust this man. Well, sniffles aside, let's talk about sales, because we had a very big high-profile sale this month, and it was, of course, Breakthrough. Now, we've talked a lot about Breakthrough on this channel, but just as a reminder, it is the Fedship 118 meters, obviously the hydrogen fuel cell super yacht. And she was meant to be at Monaco. She sold just before, so she pulled out. And I think this is probably the most expensive sale in history, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it was. I mean, it's on record. It's the biggest ever brokerage sale. And, you know, I feel I should say that it was Edmiston who had both the buyer and the seller. Great for them. They did a fantastic job. So credit where credit's due. They did a fantastic job of getting that sold.
Absolutely. Hat tip to Edmiston. And I think there was I heard there was a bit of discount on the kind of sticker price of that yacht, but still easily I'd say, you know, 600 million. Would you say that's not a stretch, is it?
Well, they're asking in excess of 600, aren't they? And there's so much confidentiality about prices actually achieved, even with smaller yachts of 2 or 3 million. There's all kinds of speculation how much they really sold for, but the only people who really know is the broker involved and the buyer and seller.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. But she's coming for charter as well. How much do you think she'd go for a week on Breakthrough?
Oh, it's so difficult to say, isn't it? I remember when Flying Fox hit the 3 million a week mark, and I'm guessing Breakthrough could even be 4 million a week. And you know what's amazing is those larger yachts charter really well. There's a big demand for that kind of thing.
Do you think?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Wow. Even with the fuel cell, you think they'd have the fuel cell engaged during a charter? I'd be so curious to know. I actually asked Fedship. They said, yeah, why not? But
Well, yeah, that's why I would
Yeah.
have said why not. I mean, that's one of the appeals of the yachts, isn't it? That it's got that
yeah,
advanced
of course.
technology.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, I actually got a sneak peek inside Breakthrough during the Monaco Yacht Show. So Fedship organised a press breakfast, and during that breakfast, they played a video which I don't think has ever been shown to anyone ever before. So it was giving us a little sneak peek of the design, the interiors, the kind of the layout. And you know what it had?
Tell me.
It had a Neptune lounge. So if you don't know, that is a kind of underwater, semi-submerged lounge with a panel of glass so you can see below the surface of the sea. But it was built into the keel. And it actually was set up so that you can kind of turn this way, you see a propeller, turn this way, you see another propeller. How cool is that?
It's cool and an absolute amazing piece of engineering.
Yeah, really crazy. I'd love to get on board and actually see it in person. But I have to say, I was incredibly impressed by the, you know, the quality of the interior and everything. And it was very, very tasteful, but very safe, very sober. And I don't want to critique, but I feel like if you're going to create this very innovative, groundbreaking yacht, would you not want to put a bit of a stamp of your personality on it and maybe take some risks with the interior design?
Yeah, you know, when you told me that, it reminded me of when I went to see Seven Seas, the previous Seven Seas, which allegedly has a very famous owner as well. And I was expecting, knowing who the owner is, something incredibly creative and mind-blowing. And I had the same opinion. It was like, oh, that's nice, but it didn't knock me out.
Yeah, I guess it's quite hard to sell though when a boat is very personalised to the owner. It got me thinking actually. So I went on board Black Legend during the Monaco Yacht Show, and that is very bespoke to the owner's tastes, and I love that. I love seeing a yacht that's really an expression of someone's personal interests and what they like, and they've taken some risks. It's just so refreshing, but it probably does make it a little bit harder to sell.
Yeah, although Black Legend puts a smile on your face. And I should mention as well, because Yarrick's here filming, Yarrick was the DJ on a party on Black Legend. We should put a little bit of footage up on screen to show that, because it's just a fantastic, fun boat. But whoever buys it is going to have to like the colours black and red on it. That's
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. And partying as well, I guess, because you've got a DJ
Yeah.
station.
I guess so. Well, yeah, it was the DJ, Yarrick, was the DJ station already on board? You didn't have to.
DJ booth.
Very cool.
Very cool. So sticking with sales now, there was another big sale announced during the Monaco Yacht Show, and it was Project AGNETHA, the Heesen. So this is a 55 steel. The sister ships are Soulmates, which is also in Monaco, and also, I believe, Mosquito. So very solid, stable platforms. I think Heesen has a lot of success with that business model of building on spec, selling towards the end of construction or even after completion. And one of the unique selling points is then that, you know, you don't have to wait for the boat. It's ready or very, very close to being ready. But it did get me wondering, do you think that yachts actually sell during the Monaco Yacht Show? Or do you think the kind of sale is already waiting in the wings and then they just announce it and make a big song and dance of it during the boat show?
Yeah, a lot of marketing is involved, isn't it, with the announcements in the yacht show? Because actually, especially the larger yachts, there's a whole journey that happens before the sale, and there's touch points in that journey. The first touch point might be something as simple as a little Instagram reel and a son saying to his dad, you know, take a look at this. You were talking about buying a yacht. And then other touch points are a visit to the shipyard, could be an email from the shipyard or from a broker. But certainly the Monaco Yacht Show is a very, very important touch points in that journey to eventually buying a yacht.
Okay. And I guess also, don't yachts have to, correct me if I'm wrong, you'll know because you're a broker, don't they have to be a certain nautical mileage away from the shore in international waters to actually finalise the sale?
No.
Oh, tell me more.
Well, I mean, actually, if you're buying from a shipyard, of course, it's not even been built yet, so it can't be offshore. But if you have a VAT paid yacht and you do the actual transfer of ownership 12 miles offshore in international waters, you avoid the VAT status of the yacht. So you have to do the actual delivery onshore or within national waters, and you have to pay VAT also on the commission for the sale of the vessel. Whilst if it's a non-VAT paid yacht, you have to be in international waters to do that.
Oh, I see. Wow, David, aren't you a fount of knowledge?
It's all in the Yacht Broker Master Class. By the way, I was going to say earlier when we were talking about the big yachts, that one of the biggest satisfactions at the yacht show for me was, first of all, I met up with a lot of students from the Master Class, but one particular student who very quickly went on from graduating from the course to being taken on by a brokerage company to selling his first yacht. This is all within 6 months, to having another yacht in the Camboat show. I said to him at Monaco, you know, do you have a yacht in the show? And he just smiled, and not him, but his company had got Mar, which was the biggest yacht in the boat
Oh,
show.
wow.
So it was tremendously satisfying to have, you know, a student, and you know, I'm not saying it was just the masterclass, because I'm sure that just made a contribution to his already great enthusiasm, but it was great to see him there, you know, on board the biggest yacht in the show.
Thriving, yeah, brilliant stuff. Well, good. Thanks for filling me in about the rules around being offshore.
Yeah, and I've
Sail,
completely
yeah.
put you off your flow now, haven't I?
No,
You can pick up from where you left
I
off.
always
Hold them.
always. So we'll head over to Italy now for a big announcement that was actually made at the very start of the Monaco Yacht Show, and it was about a new model from Tecnomar for Lamborghini. So the Italian C Group obviously owns the Tecnomar brand, and then Tecnomar partners with Lamborghini. And they have an existing fleet of very successful models, but this new one is going to be quite large. It's 101 feet, or I think 30.8 or 9 meters, 31 meters roughly. And it's very interesting looking. I have to say, I have to ask you, David, do you like this Tecnomar for Lamborghini vibe?
I love it. And when I heard the news just before the Monaco Yacht Show that they were building it, and I was so chuffed for so many reasons, right? Because first of all, when they came out with the Lamborghini 63, lots of people put it on YouTube and millions of views that they were getting. And I was late to the party. I've never filmed it. So this 101, we already are building a nice relationship with the builders because you've been there to film the shipyard.
Yes, I was.
I'm going back to feature yachting construction, which we have a central agency for. So I'm really hoping they let me do something to get in first in seeing the development of the Lamborghini 101.
Oh, brilliant. Okay. And what do you think about the whole supercar, super yacht collab in general? Because for me, I just don't think I get it. For me, I just don't think, I don't want to, again, I don't want to critique. I don't want to say, I don't want to offend anyone, but that's just not it's not my vibe. It really isn't that kind of stuff.
Is that because you're not into cars or?
Yeah, well, I just think a yacht should look like a yacht. I think a yacht, you know, a car belongs on the land. Call me old-fashioned. Car belongs on the land and a boat belongs on the sea.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I think they've knocked it out of the park myself. I think they've done a great job. And when I look at Porsche design had a speedboat really, and they didn't. I don't think they did terribly well with them. You don't see too many of them out there. There was the Aston Martin 37, which I once filmed, and that didn't survive as a company. And there was some, I think on reflection, there was some defects in the actual design, the practicality of that, I should say, rather than the design. Mercedes had a yacht 3 or 4 years ago at the Monaco show. Nothing's really taken off until this. Oh, actually, Yarrick, you mentioned something as well, and but it was kind of the other way around. Shout it out.
It's a Fiat 50. Oh, no, sorry, not 50, 500 and Riva.
Yeah, so that's a car with yacht inspiration. They do a limited edition Riva Fiat 500.
But didn't you also tell me that Riva had Ferrari engines on one of their models?
Yes, that was when Carlo Riva owned Riva, and he did a Riva Ferrari collaboration, which did quite well, but I don't think they made many of them. Whereas Tecnomar have delivered over 20 of their 63s. I mean, it's amazing. And this 101 looks incredible.
Yeah, I think it helps. I think we can say that Conor McGregor has one because he filmed himself on it quite often. That's probably helped a little bit as well. That kind of
it's good for the
celebrity.
market, isn't it?
Yeah. But I tell you what, David, it goes 45 knots and it's built in aluminium. That's a head scratcher for me. But maybe I'm, you know more about this technical stuff than me.
Aluminium's always associated when it's an aluminium hull. That's always because you want to get extra speed because it's lighter than steel.
But GRP is lighter, and in fact, and also carbon composite would be even lighter, surely.
Were you at the press? Did you ask them at the press conference? Were you like Sky News asking Donald Trump a question?
I was exactly like that. I got up, grabbed the mic, and demanded to know why it was built in aluminium.
And what did they say?
Yes, it's built in aluminium.
Oh, they didn't give you a reason for it. Well, I mean, that's an interesting one then, and hopefully I'm optimistic they might let me poke my nose in and get involved with that particular project, and I'll certainly put that question to them. But actually, after we had that conversation, I was reflecting on the complexity of the design, and to build a mould that
very true.
That might be part of the reason why.
True, but they've sold one already, and they've got
Have
another
they
one.
really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I believe to the States. Don't quote me on that. Don't quote me on that, viewers.
Well, just don't say it publicly. Nobody watches these videos anyway. So.
Say that. That's horrible. Okay. Now we move to questions from the audience. Actually, this first one isn't so much a question as a piece of constructive feedback. Are you ready?
Do tell me.
Please, for the sake of the people you are trying to sell their yachts, get another lady. Or better yet, just let that nice man that we can stand to listen to do the videos. If you need a lady, please, one with less of an accent. This lady, very nice, I'm sure. I can't stand that accent, makes the video useless. I don't even click on those videos now when I see her. Not what you desire, I'm sure. Thank you to this commenter. That's a long comment, and really digging into my accent there, which is unfortunately something I really can't change.
No, and it surprised me a little bit because if anybody's got an accent, it's me. My Peaky Blinders Brummie accent. Your accent, I think, is very much like you'd expect to hear from a British news channel. It's a very clear, easy to understand accent. But I think to your credit, you've done really well. Most of the comments that you get are very positive, right? And on the whole, the Yachts for Sale viewers are very supportive. But I remember the first video that you did, reading a comment, and I just went, oh my God. Somebody actually said, if you really have to have a woman presenting a yacht, then make sure she doesn't dress in her granny's clothes. Do you remember that?
I vaguely do remember that one, yeah. I think it really cut me deep because that was actually my first date dress.
That's a first date dress.
Yes.
And you wonder why you're still single. But I thought, when I first read that, I thought that's so hurtful, I was going to take it down. And then I thought, no, for two reasons, I'll leave it up. One, because you have to get thick skin right. But also because I think whoever wrote that made more of a fool of himself for such a misogyny. I mean, if you really have to have a woman present, what a stupid thing to say. And also, I think anybody who knows you know that you dress very well, indeed. So, yeah, it was just very odd.
Thank you, David.
My pleasure.
Okay, well, sorry, it was that delivery of that line that really killed me. Your line about the,
About what?
well, no wonder you're still, where you wonder why you're still single. I just couldn't stop laughing. Sorry. Okay. Now moving on to an actual question from the audience, and this was left on your video on Axioma, and it said, "The atrium intrigues me. It's a large amount of lost floor space. Is it worth it, in your opinion?" So we've both been on board Axioma. I think we both have our own thoughts about the atrium. What do you think?
So there is a fair amount of lost floor space. So I think you'd have to ask yourself, if you're looking at buying the yacht, what would I want to put there? Another sofa, perhaps? Another sofa? Dining? I don't know. But what I think what it gives to the yachts is fun factor. And I really like the fact that when you look down, you see somebody, you can have that conversation. It becomes a social area. It's whenever somebody mentions Axioma, they all go, what about that atrium? So I think it's added something it's added more than it's taken away.
I completely agree. And I also think it kind of comes into this conversation around how people actually use their yachts. And until you actually have spent a considerable period of time on board a boat, you don't really know what you need. Like, yeah, you might think you must have a sky lounge because almost every yacht has a sky lounge, right? But actually, do you? It's like you said, what you want, another sofa, another dining area? Actually having that interconnection between spaces is far more valuable. And the way that it lets in light from the top of the boat down, and also even connects the two exterior decks, I think that's very innovative. I'm surprised it hasn't caught on more, actually.
And what you were saying earlier about breakthrough, and what I said about the old Seven Seas, is that they lacked, in our opinion, the wow factor.
Yeah.
Axioma certainly has a wow factor.
She does. She's against the grain a bit, and that's what we like to see.
I do.
Okay, moving on to tell you what's been happening, what's going to happen, and what you can expect to see on this channel and also Yacht Builders and Yachts for Charter soon. So tell us, David. Actually, let me tell you. We've been super busy. We're in like a pretty crazy period at the moment. So we had a shoot yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday. Actually, we tried to do that shoot at the end of the Monaco Yacht Show. So we left the Monaco Yacht Show on the boat we were going to shoot on. It was getting kind of dark. I looked at David and I was like, do you think this is going to happen? David was like, yeah, absolutely. David's like a very positive man, but it didn't happen. So we ended up having to get up at the crack of dawn the next day, come back and shoot it. But it went really well, didn't it? I thought it was brilliant.
It did. You and I did our parts to the camera because we'd actually prepared them the day before. Then we went for a coffee in Villefranche.
Yeah.
While Slava, we left on
Yeah.
filming the yacht.
Yeah, we said bye, see you later.
But it's actually a project that I'm really excited about, because for the first time ever in the history of YouTube, we're delivering 3 videos 1 week after another. The first one is a tour of the shipyard that built Ocean Angel. The second one you did, showing the sea trials on Ocean Angel. Now I don't think anybody has ever shown sea trials of a yacht before.
No.
And then the third one we filmed the day after the boat show, you and me together actually presenting the finished yacht.
Yeah, it was brilliant. I think I'm so excited for that. And it's going to be published on Yacht Builders soon.
So the first 2 will be on Yacht Builders.
Okay.
The final one will be on Yachts for Sale.
Okay, now you know. So that was our big project that we were working on. Then tonight, as soon as we shoot this, me and you are both going to Italy, but for different boats. So I'm doing G3, which is a very nice Heesen. It's a Heesen that has been very popular on the charter market for many years. So I'm quite curious to get on board and find out what makes her so popular. And you are doing?
Yeah, so you're going to Loano
Yep.
for that, and I'm going down to La Spezia, actually close to Porto Venere, to film a Sunreef 100. Now, that should make people's ears prick up because, coincidentally, 2 separate viewers left comments recently. One said, when are you going to film a Sunreef 100? And the other specifically mentioned Le Petit Belle, which is the name of the one that we're filming. So the timing couldn't be any better. I'm really excited by it because I was already blown away by the Sunreef 80. When you see it in the dock, you're like, how can that be 80 foot? It looks so
Yeah,
much
it's
bigger.
got so much presence.
So what's the 100 going to be like? I'm looking forward to seeing that
Yeah,
tomorrow.
great. And do you think the viewers, they quite like catamarans? Do you think that's...
I think this is the time of the catamaran, isn't it? Everybody's building catamarans.
Catamaran craze.
The catamaran crazy, yeah.
Mm.
So clearly there's a big demand because so many are being built, and Sunreef are doing so well with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, there's many builders that are kind of trying to branch into that catamaran space. We've also got Laniakea, that's a catamaran.
I'm so glad you mentioned Laniakea because I've passed by their stand many times, and they have a challenge that a lot of new builders have, which is they have an awesome product, awesome, but they don't have a big brand. And I remember this happening with Wider. I was very involved with Wider when it first started as a company with a 150, and the founder of Wider, Tilly Antonelli, also founded Pershing. And in the darkest moments when he was building the yacht and it was difficult to sell, he said to me, you know, if this was a Pershing, we'd have sold 6 of them by now. And he was right, because it had the brand. It's the same yacht. And, you know, I said to the guys at Latitude Yachts that it's a similar sort of thing. They're going through the pain barrier right now of pushing through. They're building it. They're making progress. I know that that product is fantastic. I have full faith in them as a shipyard, but they just have to get it, I think, a little bit further along in production before we can, you know, get potential buyers.
Okay, good to know. So that's the viewers can look out for that video soon, right? The next lesson.
Well, we filmed the first one. I think I won't be filming the second one for a month or 2, probably November.
Okay.
I might even send you to Latvia to do that.
Oh, I'd be delighted. Latvia, never been before.
Have you not?
No.
You'll love it.
Why? The food?
Well, it's very similar to Estonia, where Yarek's from. The people are lovely. The town of Riga is very beautiful.
Okay.
And the shipyard are just a fun bunch of hardworking people.
That's always good. That's always nice.
Yeah.
So if you could spotlight one video for the viewers to look forward to in the next 4 weeks, which would it be? Gosh, this is the real.
I think you know what you should do? You should put a clock ticking while I'm just thinking. Oh. Alfa Nero.
Alfa Nero.
Alfa Nero, it's a 45-minute long video, and it will have just been published by the time we publish this, to be fair. So I'll be publishing it next Saturday. This will probably be published the following Wednesday. So if you haven't watched Alfa Nero, do watch that. It's a very thorough walkthrough. But apart from that, yeah, I think the Sunreef 100 will be a very interesting video to watch out for.
Okay, great.
What about you? Which one are you looking out for?
Obviously G3, because I'm excited to film it, and it's gonna be a smash hit, I hope.
I will be.
Okay. Wonderful. Is there anything else that you want to...
That was the most insincere wonderful I've ever heard in my life.
Sorry, I don't know how to wrap this up. Wonderful. Is there anything else that you want to tell the viewers before we see them again in 4 weeks' time?
Well, they'll be seeing us again anyway in various formats.
But not in this 2-seater.
No, well, I mean, yes, I suppose this is a good opportunity to say that I've now finally got up and running with regular newsletters to the viewers, those that sign up for it. And it's called Inside Info. And it lets viewers know what's going on behind the scenes, any little bits of gossip that I'm aware of, new products coming out.
Gossip?
Well, only verified gossip.
Gossip? And you don't tell... You know I'm the queen of gossip.
But you haven't signed up to the newsletter, I notice.
Oh, really?
Yeah, go to yachtsellblog.com and it's free.
I will just say that I do actually get it, because you do normally forward it to me. So I do feel like I receive it.
That's because I often mention you, so I feel like I should forward it.
The first thing I do after this video is go and sign up for the newsletter. And you should do the same, dear viewers. Okay, so...
We should leave it like that.
You don't want to do it. You don't want to wave at them. You don't.
I've never waved at viewers in my life.
I do. Until next time, viewers. Goodbye.
Cool.
Yeah.
Bit of a chatty end, but
Sorry.
no, it was good. It was
So we're sincere, yeah.
sincere and authentic.
I like waving at the viewers.